Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to Joyful Julie Live. I am coming to you from a new location. If you've been following along for a while, you know that I have not always had this beautiful background. Previously looked like I was in a pillow fort, but we made it work. So hey, Joe, thanks for being here. I am super excited about my guest tonight. I'm excited about all my guests, but this person is just super encouraging and happy, and he finds the positive in every situation. Hey, Mark and Larry, glad you guys are here. And I just love his positivity. And when I was getting down to figuring out how many live streams I had left to do, because I don't think I'm going to continue through the summer and in the fall because it's going to get crazy with like kids sports and things. I got 4 spots left. Who do I want to get? And he was on my list. And I was so excited when I shot him a message and he was like, yeah, let's do it. So without further ado, you probably know the guy, but Mr. Phil Davis, come on out.
Hey. Hi there.
So glad you're here.
I am thrilled to be here. I appreciate you having me, and this is it's such a good way to end my Tuesday. Wait, yeah, it's Tuesday, right? Yeah.
It is Tuesday.
So,
it is. I have to do that on a regular basis. Like, what day of the week is it?
Like, wait, what? I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, and just having last week be a short week for most folks and coming back in, it's like, wait, oh, it's only Tuesday. Oh, okay. All right. It's not Monday, though, so that's good.
No, not Monday anymore.
No,
Thank goodness. Mondays are hard.
They can be.
They can be. So I think Cody Davis had a post yesterday about Mondays, and it was pretty split in the comments whether people liked Mondays or people were kind of slow about Mondays. But it's always a fun conversation.
It's like, are they good for us? Are they not so good for us? Yeah, exactly. Like what's going on? All that good stuff. Oh, Julie, stop it. Oh, did we lose her? We may have lost Julie. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what he got.
All right, so that's great. Julie's internet just
did it
went kaput. That's crazy.
But we're here. We're hanging out. Stuff happens. There we go.
Hey.
That's why it's live streaming.
Right? Yeah.
Anything can happen.
I have no idea what just happened. Like everything died. And I might have to move you over there because my brain freaks out if you're on the other side. So yeah, how about that?
How about that? We're here. That's yeah, it's all good.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad. So this is a perfect opportunity to shout out Chris Hennessy, my producer in the background, to keep things going when things go awry. So definitely the benefit of having a virtual producer if you were into live streaming. So Chris Hennessy with Hip Productions, look him up if you don't already know him. So there's that. Yeah, so I'm completely bumfuzzled now. Like, I don't know where we were at or what we were talking about. Hey, Christy. Oh, so anyways, just, I don't know. What's something you want to talk about?
Just life. We talk about you. I think that the coolest thing about, both of our stories, right? So like, I always try to remember or backtrack when I meet people, especially on LinkedIn, like, oh, I've met Julie through somebody. And I think I actually think we may have met through Chris or through somebody, through Chris, through somebody else. I don't know. But the networking chain, right, came to be. And then I know like you and I met, gosh, I know it was right. I want to say maybe August, September of last year or so. And it was interesting because we both were really at a point in our professional life where we kind of pivoted and really started our own thing, right? Our own like businesses and stuff like that. you've got your own business and I have mine, and we just kind of like, we have very similar experiences. And of course, one of the things that when I think about you, and one thing that I think maybe like Ariel Lee or somebody else was talking about was, our color orange, right? Because you had and you had an orange banner background. I've got orange in my branding and stuff like that. And so one of the things that I was actually asked by one of our friends, Robert Berry, on his show, gosh, almost a year ago, maybe not that long, is he asked me a question. He said, why the color orange? Like, why do you have orange in your brand? And I guess I'm curious to know for you, Julie, like, why orange for you? Why do you like the color orange? Ooh, I'm asking you the questions.
It's okay. Orange is a happy color. Orange is a happy color. And my alma mater is Oklahoma State, and they're orange too. So that's part of it. It's part of that. They're the reason why I love the color orange. But orange is a happy color. And so I'm JoyfulJulie, which is like finding the happiness and finding the good. And so that's how I came up with my color combo, because turquoise is my absolute favorite color of all time. And then on the color wheel, like, you want to go what's complementary, which is opposite, and orange is opposite of turquoise, and it's also a happy color. So that's how I came up with orange and turquoise.
I love it. So that's something we have in common there too, because I love the color orange, but then my kind of complementary is it's more like a blue. It's kind of like it's not a navy blue, but it's a little bit lighter than that. Kind of like a LinkedIn blue, if you will. But that's cool. That's really cool. So similar variations on a similar theme. So I went to Mercer University, which they're the Bears, very, very small private college in good old Macon, Georgia, central Georgia.
Nice.
Studied opera music. So of course on the headline, I've got opera singer. That is legit. People ask me all the time, are you a singer? I'm like, yes, I am. I studied in college.
That.
Yada, yada, yada.
I love those
cheated. Those hidden gems.
I love those hidden talents that, like, you wouldn't know unless you really like talk to somebody and get to know them. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, Christy, orange means Auburn. Yeah, War Eagle, roll Tide, but I love exactly.
Well, thank you.
Auburn.
Thanks for not holding it against us.
Yes, exactly. I have. It's funny. My wife's family, she's got people at Auburn. I've got people that were from Bama, so it's there. The rivalry, of course, happens all the time. So,
always.
But it's interesting, right? Because I think the coolest thing about just this community and in general, and I think really like what I've enjoyed, and you probably can agree, is as you start to expand your network and really connect with more people and really like learn about more people, then it becomes that kind of, oh my gosh, well, Julie knows Chris, Julie knows Ariel, Julie knows all these people that I know, right? Because then it's like, okay, well, then we meet other people. It's like, oh, okay, that person knows Julie, and all this. It's just like the network.
Yeah,
it's such a small world out there, and
it is.
I don't know. So
yeah, it's really cool. There's 2 connection requests I got in the last couple of days that were like, hey, you're a friend of Phil's. I love Phil. Anybody that he likes, I want to get to know you. And I was like, yes, let's do it. So yeah, finding those people that you have in common that share those kind of values and the positivity and things. And then when you can connect those other dots, it's like, oh, it's the best part of networking.
Yeah, and it is. And I mean, I think the thing about LinkedIn, because it's my go-to. I know it's your go-to as well. And I am on TikTok. I am on Instagram. I don't really promote that. I probably should do more of that and just say, hey guys, I'm also on these other platforms. I don't do a lot of them there because I live on the LinkedIn as you do as well as so many other people. But it's just it's where was I going with that?
Networking.
Yes, I know. Oh my gosh. Platform LinkedIn. Oh yeah, the whole there we go. Okay. The coolest thing about this platform is just you get to connect with people, but it's really, I think the most important thing and the most powerful thing is this, like when you actually get the one-on-one discussion. Like this is our very first one-on-one, and we're doing it on the show, which I am honored. Like I am beyond honored and like fulfilled that I'm here like with you talking. And this is our very first conversation together. It's just, but this is what it's all about, for sure.
It is, but it doesn't feel like it's our first conversation to me. Like, I mean, because I think when you've interacted and you've had those conversations and you pay attention to what each other does, like you get to know each other without actually having like face-to-face conversation. So it doesn't feel like it's the first time and like it's awkward, which I think is totally cool.
Well, I think that's the importance of commenting and engaging on this
Mhm.
platform, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we've got all this, the sky's the limit here, really, truly is. And I think for both of us, really, at least for me too, is, okay, I'll get real. Well, we'll get real. So where my mind's going. So, I've been through, career-wise, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of different things.
Mhm.
I was, since 22 job layoffs. I had not one layoff, not the bro layoff in my last corporate role.
Ooh.
I had two. Yeah, I had a crazy,
Ouch.
roller coaster of a corporate career. And that's like one of the reasons why I built Fulfillment from ground up, really since 2020. But a lot
Mhm.
of it was like, where was I going to even begin, right? How was I going to even start to even think about making a difference and impact when I didn't even, at the time, back in October 2020, almost 2 years ago, I had no network. I had nothing. Like, I had
Mhm.
maybe a few hundred connections. That was it. Like, honestly, that was it. And the intention at the time for me back then was, oh my gosh, I've got to find a job. I got to find a job. I got to find a job. I got to, I need something now. Like, oh my gosh, which
Mhm.
was fine. But then as I kind of started getting out here a little more, I never really at that time understood really the power of the tool, or the power of LinkedIn, the power of the
Mhm.
platform, until I really started just getting to connect with people, one person at a time,
Mhm.
and just get here to really learn about others, to really understand their story. I say it all the time, really, to learn about other people, understand their story, and I think understand their uniqueness and where they are in their career journey, particularly because that's what I do. I do career coaching, and just trying to help them along their path, regardless of where they are, right? Regardless of whether they are looking for a job immediately, whether they are working and they're looking to make a pivot or a change in their career. And I think just as people on this platform, regardless of whether we are coaches or whether we're um, employee trainings consultants like you, or just influencers or what have you, or just job seekers, right? It's really in our best interest and our intention to get to learn other people, um,
Mhm.
and get to understand what their purpose is, and how,
Mhm.
and what their uniqueness is, and because we all have our own talents, our own gifts, our own strengths, right? um,
Absolutely.
and it's different, right? It's different from each other. And so I think as we start to really kind of tune in, the musical element, we try to tune into
Yeah.
our uniqueness, right? It becomes incredibly powerful, and then we can really fly with that, and that's how I think we can really make impact. Jeanette passing through to say hello. Good to see you both. Do your thing, Phil Davis. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you too, Jeanette. I am proud of you, my friend, over there at Meta, making things happen, impacting other people as well. That's the thing, right? I
Mhm.
appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate the just the amount of support, that so many people here have given me. But it's right. I return the favor, right? It's appreciating it's appreciating everybody for what they are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, mm,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's good. Like, yeah, you never know what you're going to learn about somebody and how that can interlace or be able to make a connection with somebody else. Like, that's been the coolest thing, I think, is finding somebody and then somebody has a need and you're like, "Oh, I know somebody who does that," and being able to connect those dots. Like, that's just the coolest thing.
Hmm.
And
Well, and how do you?
in doing that, you're helping both parties. And for a Enneagram 2 who loves to help people, like, that is totally fulfilling for me, is being able to connect those dots for people.
Well, and how do you do it in your business, right? So, like, what had you? What was your, like, maybe your, like, aha moment, or your realization, last year, even prior to, at the
Mhm.
point where you're like, you know what, I really want to consult, but I really want to impact others,
Mhm.
employees, whether they're, individual employees, or, a business just within your, your business, right? With
Mhm.
Joyful 4110, right? Why did you
Mhm.
create it? What was that reasoning for it, for you?
It's kind of a long story. Part of it was the go, please. You're okay. This is Morgan. This is my daughter.
Hi,
This is one of my
Morgan.
whys. This is one of my whys. Hey. Go, please.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah, when I, was job hunting for when that time came and I needed to find another job, it was kind of all over the board because I had done a lot of different things in my previous role, and trying to find what fit, I kept coming back to like training and development. And when I was kind of reaching the end of my like safety net and nothing had panned out, I was like, well, what do I have to lose? Everybody tells me like, you should start your own business. You should start your own business. And I'm like, I never wanted to do that, but I got nothing to lose, so might as well. And trying to figure out what exactly I was going to do. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for saying hi to Morgan. I kept coming back to that. And it was the aspect of being able to help people to connect the dots to what makes them tick, and being able to have that larger impact. It wouldn't just be on one particular group, but I can help, people all across Oklahoma in person and really all across the globe virtually. And so that's where I came up with being able to choosing to do that. Is being able to help people. That's kind of my number one thing, and to help them connect the dots and become better for themselves and for their employer or whatever it is.
Well, and we share the same tune. We're in harmony. I love these musical puns. Like, if you probably didn't know me, like I do all of that in my content. I do it in some singing jingles, which oh gosh, maybe I might have to do something later. I don't know, like a singing.
I think you totally should. Since you brought it up, it definitely has to happen.
Shoot. I tooted my own singing horn. I will a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I was the exact same way. I mean, I for me, like truly, I think the coolest thing about the entrepreneurial route, at least on my end, is, back in 2020, when I just started doing the LinkedIn, and I started getting out here and I started getting to meet people, at that time, really since 2020 to 2021, I had the business. I didn't realize I had like done my own little business spiel, like with coaching, until I really got into it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm busy. I have a lot of stuff going on. Like, I'm going to make this an LLC and make this happen. So I think for me, like it was the ammunition and the momentum, if you will, was at that point for me, just between 2020, 2021. And of course I had amazing people. Of course, when you came into my community, and other folks too, they were saying same thing, make it happen, do it. Like what's holding you back? Like what's stopping you from doing it if you've already helped so many different people and you've impacted folks? I'm like, yeah, you got a point there. I probably should do it, because
Jamie Edwards, you don't want a karaoke from me. Like, I don't karaoke. I do karaoke very loud and poorly, not fit for a live stream.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, I think it just happened. It just happened, and I think the coolest thing about the journey, right? Because it is about the journey.
It is a journey.
It's fun to always look back, even you don't have to look back long term, but even just looking back a few months, even just then, and just saying, look how far I've come. Because I think what's important to remember, whether you're a job seeker, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an employee, employer, whatever, leader, I don't care. Looking back and reflecting on just how far you've come is one of the most powerful things that you can do, at least for me. I mean, it's been incredible, because this is why I sing and I don't talk, because I sing better than I talk. I stumble. It's
the Coca-Cola. It's the caffeine.
I know. What's my secret? It's caffeine and sugar. Kelsey, my wife Kelsey, doesn't like it so many times, because I'm like, Kelsey, guess what? Da, da, da. If something exciting happens, I work upstairs and then she works downstairs. We both work from home. But of course, usually one time a week she'll go to a coffee shop, or vice versa, or I'll switch it out. But the thing about me is, if I have, and some people here in the audience probably know this about me too, and you do, it's like whenever I have a thought that's like exciting and fulfilling, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to write it down. I got to do something about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like squirrel moment kind of thing. And then I lose track, and then I come back in. Like, okay, what are we talking about? But truly though, the most powerful thing I think is just to look back to see how far you've come, because we're all progressing to something,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's hard in the moment to understand where we're going, but a lot of times when we do look back and just kind of say, wow, you know what, we have come a long way, because we wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be here, like you and me and all in the audience here in the community, we wouldn't be in this exact moment right now if it wasn't for what we were doing before. Like we wouldn't, you and
Right.
I, we wouldn't be doing this live right now if we didn't
Exactly.
comment on each other's posts, and we didn't get to,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't engage or any of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And your calf
Yep.
pictures, like I love all that because I'm a animal lover. So I know that's one of the reasons why I liked engaging with your work, just seeing
Yeah.
your awesome pictures, and the one today, you did as well, just that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And
Yeah.
having conversations with intention through that engagement, is powerful. It's absolutely powerful.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. And I think you mentioned something like my cow pictures. And a lot of people think, this is LinkedIn and we have to be professional. And yeah, it is to some extent, but we're all people. And,
Mm-hmm.
Like Anthony Jones says, people connect with people. And so you have to share that
Mm-hmm.
side of you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I live on a farm and I have my cows, and that's kind of my thing. And I know, and this is like, I know people enjoy that because so many people aren't connected with agriculture or don't have any ties to cattle or anything like that. And so it's fun to share that part of my world that is so familiar to me and that I kind of not necessarily take for granted, but kind of. And so I love being able to share that with other people and start those conversations. And maybe, somebody who maybe wouldn't stop scrolling and engage otherwise might engage with something like that. And you never know what it's going to lead to later. So that's really the power.
Well, it's the power of personal branding. We hear personal branding all the time, and it's a part. Is it personal branding? Yes, but even taking it a step further, it's you. Like it's who you are. It's a part
Mm-hmm.
of you. It's a huge part of you. Like music is mine, right? Because I'll tell you, like when I first started Fulfillment, when I was doing my business strategy and I was thinking like what the heck I was going to do with my life back in 2020, I didn't even want, we're gonna get some vulnerability in play here. I didn't even want to have a musical theme at all in my business. I did not. I didn't want to in the beginning, because I didn't want people to think that I was like a vocal coach or piano coach. Like, yes, I am. I could teach people how to sing if they want to take voice lessons with me digitally or something, I can add that to my fulfillment repertoire. I don't care. If people ask, if enough people ask, then heck, I'll teach them how to sing, and okay,
Right.
that's fine. But in the beginning, that wasn't my intention. And I had people, very, very close people of mine, tell me like, well, why would you even think about, nobody on LinkedIn, I promise you, nobody here in this community at all, but I had even really, really close people in my life. They doubted me. They're like, well, why would you want to start your own business, right? Why would you even want to put music in a coaching business? Like, what does music have anything to do with career coaching? Like, why would you do that? Well, I'll give you a couple examples, right? If you're interviewing, right, you're preparing, you're doing your research on a company, you are looking at the job description, you're looking at each single bullet on the role, and you're trying to relate that bullet into what achievements you've done and what kind of value and impact you're going to do in your career. So, right, you're practicing, okay, for your interview. And so one of my themes is I do interview prep, but I call it the interview warm up, because we're warming you up vocally, obviously an interview, for that performance where you're actually doing the interview, you're getting on stage, you're talking about yourself and what the value that you're going to add to that business. And so I'm like, oh, well, of course I'm going to add music into this. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's part of me and my brand. And it just made sense, to add that harmonic scale, if you will, into the business. Yeah, exactly. So I completely resonate. I resonate with you for sure on your brand, and you're bringing your part of it into what you do. Because I think for you, when I think about you and your passion, your love for animals, you're tending to their needs, you're taking care of them, you're grooming them, you're growing them. And it's the same concept of who you are in your business as helping those employees to succeed, because you're all about, tending to their needs,
Yeah.
and having and working with them on process improvement and grooming them as well, so that they're successful at the end of the day. So I get it. I absolutely get it. And
Yeah.
I think it's phenomenal, or it's amazing.
I totally hadn't made that connection, like
Well,
ever. Had not made that connection,
well,
but that is
there you go.
really
It
true.
is.
That actually, I need
Yeah.
to write that down, because that
Yeah.
like, gets the wheels turning in a different way. Because and I think I alluded to it in my post today, but I struggle talking about myself and what I do. Like, but if I approach it that way, like you just said, that's going to open up a whole other set of doors to talk about it in a way that actually feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a gosh darn genius, man.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. I think it's the recruiter in me a little bit, because, like, when I speak with, I mean, we're doing it right now, right? Because I mean, I'm interviewing you as much as you're interviewing me, informally, of course, because I don't like formalized interviews. I don't like any of that. It's like we're trying to have a conversation. We're trying to talk about stuff, and go from there. That's what it's all about. And so when I talk to people, whether it is an interview, whether it's just a conversations, obviously, I'm all about trying to have a key a key takeaway, like a piano key, a key takeaway on everybody I speak to, and something that I can remember about that person. And so that's when and that's exactly how, when I think about you, that's exactly how I think about you, just, and what you do is because
That's
of
awesome.
crazy. I know, it's
I
powerful
love
stuff.
it. I love it.
And it just happened. I mean, I just, because wheels turn, start thinking. That's why live streaming, that's why you and Chris and other people, like, that's why I'm bringing them back, because I've at least on my page, I've missed them a lot. But this is the power of going on live, is especially like just unscripted conversations like this, because you start to really collaborate, you start to really think. And not only that, just between us, but also through the people in the community watching and listening right now, and actually commenting and engaging on what we're talking about. Right? Yeah, live. Exactly. Chris is saying live streaming is where it's at, so he agrees. So it's you're getting this everybody, whether they're on stage or off stage, they're seeing all this. They're thinking about the conversation, and they're engaging. But that's the power of this whole shebang that we're doing. Completely, it's crazy.
Absolutely,
it's insane.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, Holly, she's watching on Twitch. So that's the other cool thing that about live streaming is it's not just confined to our LinkedIn platforms. Like, I'm streaming to mine, you're streaming to yours, but then I'm also streaming to YouTube and Twitch, my Facebook page, and my Facebook business page. So it's out there like 5 different places. And so you never know who you're going to reach. And so it's one of the great things, and I love it for the people that I bring on my show, because I just really started this to get to talk to interesting people who are doing great things in the world, and being able to, maybe somebody in my Facebook network has a need and sees the video and connects with you. I mean, that could change their future, and I think that's a really cool thing to think about, and to know that I may have had a teeny tiny part of that, like, that fills my bucket.
Well, one person can make a difference. I mean, that's just what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And that's the power of networking and community, is to your point, like somebody's, and that's the thing, right? I mean, people ask all the time, right? Like, I'm trying to get out, and I'm sure people ask you too, because we're content creators. Like, we're getting out there, we're creating content for value, right? Like, we're adding value to other people, which is the number one thing to do when you're starting out, or even when you are content creating, whether you do video, whether you share a picture, caps, whether you do stuff like that, you're adding value to other people. My philosophy, and when I do content, like, every day, every other day, whatever, as long as I'm impacting one person a day, I'm doing it right. Like, that's all I care about. If I'm able to just make a difference for one person a day, whether it's content creation, whether it's a client, whether it's just a friend or whatever, then that's I am fulfilled. the goal is to do more than one, obviously, to have
Right.
impact many people as I can. But having one, I mean, that's the power of it all.
Absolutely.
Truly.
And it's a good mindset to have, not only here on LinkedIn. I mean, especially like, you do a great post and you think, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then it tanks, whatever your definition of tanking or success is. Like that varies from person to person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Christy, for coming. Appreciate you dropping by. But also, and I know I take the same mindset when I go into a training situation, is like you could be in a room of, 10 to 30 people or whatever it is. Sometimes you get a bunch of really engaged people who want to ask and answer questions, and you can tell that they're getting a lot out of it. And sometimes it's like pulling teeth. But I know that even though it seemed like a, terrible training session or whatever, if I connected with one person, and there's usually at least one, then I know I made a difference. Even if, the other 14 people were completely unengaged, if I connected with that one person, just like you said, if you can make a difference in one person's life, you've done what you came to do.
Well, and those other people too, even the thing that's really interesting, and a couple of really good, like really good content creators, just in the space, some other folks who I look up to, obviously you and Chris for sure, but you got Ariel Lee, you've got Michelle Griffin, you've got Deanna Russo, you got folks like that. A lot of those folks, they talk about, and you've talked about this before, just people are watching, like viewers. So you may get people out there who may not engage, and that's okay, right? I mean, they may take the stuff that we do, or the stuff that we all are posting for value, and they recognize that value. We may or may not know that, but then they will come back later on down the road, and they'll either start engaging, or they may message you directly and say, oh my gosh, I remember that post that you did back in February or March, and it impacted my life. Like, it made a difference. Had it today with somebody, they reached out, didn't necessarily engage with my work, but it was enough to say, hey, keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And I actually like sometimes having those, getting those messages from people like that, where they may not have engaged a lot, but they've seen the work that we've done, and the impact, and of course the joy that we're trying to bring here, for sure. And that's incredibly powerful, like completely.
Yeah, I've heard of, on more than one occasion, somebody who comes and says, like, I've been watching you and I've been seeing your posts and everything, and it's like, I've never seen you engage before, but people discount the lurkers, but they're out there, and sometimes they're ready to pull the trigger. I think that's where like the consistency comes in, and I don't think we've actually used the word authentic, but being our authentic selves, it's absolutely important.
Yeah, and just being real and being yourself, because nobody, I always talk about, just again, we all have our, I said it earlier today, we all have our unique talents, gifts, strengths, joys of life. We all have something to give. We all have value to share in this community, and just in life with other people. Nobody else has what you have, just as far as what you can bring to the table. Nobody at all. And so, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. That's why we have to just be ourselves. And it is, the community of people, because we can't, not everybody is going to like us, right? Like, I tell people all the time, like, I am a very, very positive ball of energy person, like, all the time, like, absolutely. What's keeping me awake right now, obviously, is the Coca-Cola, the caffeine, the sugar that I have, right? So I'm wide awake, wired like crazy. That's who I am. I am full of energy. I'm full of life, right? It works for most people. It may not work for other people. I can't have everybody like me.
No.
Nor do I want that, right? Because I'm in it for the community, and I'm in it for the people who are there to be in my corner to support me, and vice versa, because that's really what it's all about. And I think for me, that was really what I had to get past, or I had to get past myself when I wanted to start fulfillment. But then as I started thinking about it that way, to say, you know what, I'm doing this for my community, and I'm doing this for myself, and having that balance of saying, well, you know what, as an entrepreneur, solopreneur, whatever you want to call it, like I'm not in this alone. I have business partners like I have you, right? Like I have you as, hey, if I ever get somebody that needs, somebody to help with their training and development, I've got Julie under my belt. If I've got somebody, who wants to do more of like kind of like copywriting or something, I've got people there. So it's like we all have certain people that have, again, their unique traits and skills and abilities and stuff like that. So it's like I'd call you like a business partner, right? And a friend, obviously, but it goes into that. And so I think, especially in the job search, that's it can be tempting to and the thoughts of, oh my gosh, I am in this alone, like, oh my gosh, I'm myself. It's like, no, there are so many people out there who are there in your corner, who are there to help. I being one of them, completely, absolutely. You're not in this alone, and I think that's like, it's such an important thing to think about and to know. Like, we all are truly in this together, regardless of where we are in our life, whether we're doing great, whether we're not. There's such a powerful. It's so fulfilling, at least for me. Like, that's really what keeps me going, just doing this business, because I've had plenty of times, like plenty, in the first little season of running this little one-person career coaching LLC, whatever, to want to stop and quit, because I've had my slew of trolls and people out there who've tried to steer me off course. It happens. It's happened a lot lately. It has, and for me, the most powerful thing that has kept me going has been, I'll say it, and it's going to be an all moment, has been you all in this community. Because I would not have been, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for them, for you guys.
Oh yeah,
absolutely not.
I'm right there with you. Like, it sounds so silly probably to those who don't understand the power of the community that we've built here. But there's like some days, like, I don't want to do anything, but I'm like, but I need to go like see my LinkedIn people, and I need to post something and engage with them, and like knowing, because that in itself is really fulfilling too, because you can see what people are doing, you can help celebrate their victories or support them when they're having a hard time. But every single day you can learn something from somebody, and that's just, I love it. It's amazing.
Agree. And like,
yeah. And like you said, we're not alone. It can feel very isolated in that job search, or when you're just building your business. And I'm very much on a roller coaster right now as far as building. Like, there's been times where I'm like, I should just quit all this and just go back to searching for a job and work for somebody else and blah 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 blah. And then a little voice tells me, like, you're right there. Like, the next big thing is just right there. Like, you find that right person, and like, you can get some momentum, and then you ride that wave again. So yeah, knowing that you're not alone, and you have other people in your corner, like, is incredible.
That's so true. I'm just catching up on. So I have a question for you.
The comments.
Yeah, the comments. Are the comments so because this is actually see, I've been learning something new from you guys. So this is the first time that I'm using Restream on my end, right? Okay. So like obviously it's streaming on my page, it's streaming on your page. Are the comments on my page different from your comments, or are they all the same?
They should be the same. So on my side, I see like the regular LinkedIn comments, and then there's some that have a purple box that says paired, and those are coming from your page.
Got it. Very cool.
So like, I also have like my LinkedIn over here. And so like, if I want to reply, like Russ said, "What's up, Phil?" If I want to say, "Hey Russ, thanks for stopping by," I can type it over on my LinkedIn page.
Got it. Very cool. Community is everything. Very cool. I didn't know that, but that's really cool. But see, I learned something new today.
Yeah. So Lisa's coming from your page. So she's paired on your page.
Very cool. Very cool. I love it.
Yeah. Great way to bring communities together and expand our exposure.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I was on Russ's live yesterday. So of course I sang for him and the community on his page, which was fun. Gosh, what would I want to do? You guys want to hear me sing? If you want to hear me sing, say yes. Say yes in the comments. Seriously, I will. I'll do like some kind of an inspirational thing. I have to think about it though in my mind, but yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. I'll see if the comment section has
So yeah, those are the ones that are paired. So like if Matea is watching from my page, and I hope I said your name right. So if I didn't, please correct me. So she can't, on the LinkedIn Live, she can't see the comments that come from your page unless Chris pops them up on the screen.
Copy that. Okay, cool. Very cool. Got it. Very interesting. Yes. I didn't know that. That's really cool.
It's awesome. Restream is really a cool platform for streaming, and like I never thought that I would get into live streaming. Honestly, like for the longest time, I hated video. I still am not crazy about my recorded voice. But you know what? I got over it, and it's really been a lot of fun because, like you said, like having these live conversations is so valuable. You never know who you're going to connect to, who's going to show up in the comments. I saw somebody else that went by too fast, like they didn't think they were connected to you, and I'm like, how are you not connected to Phil? So like, it's awesome. And like now, like there's people that on your network that don't know me, like they can connect with me and choose to have me come do their employee training. Shameless plug.
Because you're bringing people together, people together through the platform, through this community, through the live stream. And I'm with you. I hate it. Oh my gosh, I hated doing video. Oh man, for the longest time. Like typing and stuff and doing copy and pictures and things like that's fine. And I mix it up, like my content, I try to like mix it up between doing, short, long form pictures, and then my fulfillment, I should probably just start singing now and try to be able to actually talk and sing what I'm trying to say to you. But like I do videos on Fridays now, fulfillment Fridays. That's what I typically do. And I usually on my videos on Fridays, I usually like promote a job seeker in my network who's looking, or I just kind of like sing or say like kind of an inspirational message and stuff like that. And I did one of the challenges I did when I started doing video is I had kind of an ABC series where each letter of the alphabet was, you remember that? Like, it had
that was
like
cool.
Like a message on there. So I may bring that back. Again and either do another series of that. So like A was achieve something that you want to achieve. B was, be you. C was care for those people around you. So I just kind of did a letter a week, if you will, and then shared like my experiences on that and things there, stuff like that. So I don't know, but I didn't like it. Same thing. I don't like my speaking voice on video or lives. I hate it. But singing voice is a little bit different. But yeah.
But it's one of the things I've learned. Like our voice to our ears doesn't sound the same as how other people hear us. Like I wish I could hear what they hear, but whatever. It works. It works. That comment from Tori is amazing. I don't know if you saw that, but another interview.
I'm gonna go over and
go ahead.
They also contacted all of my references, hoping that is a good sign. Phil, you helped me dig deep and go for job opportunities I wouldn't have before. Well, I appreciate that, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, I know Tori and I, we are connected, I believe. Actually, I know we are. But we haven't worked together. But no, I appreciate that. I'm thrilled that we are connected. Yeah, I am thrilled that I helped you and impacted you on that. Absolutely, you're gonna kick butt in the interview. You're gonna do great. Absolutely. Right. Let me know. Let us know how it goes. So send me a message. Let me know how it goes. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's the thing. I
love it.
Just never know. Oh my God.
You never know how you're going to impact somebody. Yeah. Alka says, why are we so hard on ourselves? I don't know. If you can find that magic potion so we can stop doing that, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Alka too, not to, to say that Alka is, Alka and plenty of people in this community. I mean, just, absolutely, Tori. Definitely. I mean, that's the thing, everybody here has made everybody here that I know, and even the folks who I don't know as well, the ones who have reached out, who have given me feedback on my work, the ones who have just, liked my work, who have reached out later, even the ones who I don't even know in the future, the ones that are going to connect with me in the future, like, I appreciate you and I thank you for it. Because I think, but this whole the reason why we're here tonight, I think, is to just, it is to inspire and to fulfill and to empower people along their path, right? I mean, that's the idea.
Absolutely.
But I think the most important thing, the key takeaway, if anything, as I wrap up with you, I know we're getting close to time, and I'll probably sing a little spiel, is we all are making a difference in somebody's life, whether we see that, whether we believe that, or whether we don't. We absolutely are.
For sure.
We are. And there's so many people behind that. You know what I'm trying to say. Like we've made a difference in somebody's life, whether we see it or whether we don't, or whether we believe that we did or we didn't. And that's what it's all about, truly.
Yeah. I think there's a saying that goes, just because if somebody tells you how you made them feel, you don't get to decide that you didn't. And usually it's in the context of something negative, like, you hurt me. Like, I didn't hurt you. But on the same token, like, you really helped me. And it's just like accepting a compliment. Like, I'm so glad I could help you. Even if you may not think that you really did anything to help them, like, just recognizing that they believe that you did and embracing that's really powerful.
Because that's really, at least for me, like, that's been like my why and my purpose, right? Like my, you said earlier, your daughter's one of your whys. Like, one of my whys obviously is my wife and our dog Grace, who's a German Shepherd. She's a German Shepherd. We think she's a Shepherd Basenji mix, I think. But they're truly, like she's very, well, she's overweight. but like I think my why, for me at least now, when I was in that transitional stage, just 2020 again, just trying to figure out, well, what is my why? Like, what's my why and what's going to like fulfill me? Like, what's going to make me happy? Because I knew, like, when I was recruiting, I was helping companies fill jobs, and that was great, and I was getting talent and things like that. But I knew at that time there was something missing. And I just was like, well, we're going through the pandemic. We're, a lot of job seekers are looking for roles, and it's still today. I mean, there are plenty of people out there who are still looking, either through layoff or just through other things. But then I think the biggest thing too, what's interesting about just what's been going on, career-wise, is there are a lot of people who want to make change because they're starting to recognize their why, if they haven't already, or they know, okay, I want to make a change to be that, to be more fulfilled in my career, and have that life, that I want to have. Because, life's too short. It truly is too short.
It is.
To not be fulfilled. I mean, you need to try to find something that you can do that's going to make you happy and that's going to give you the fulfillment that you deserve, and the just the joy. We'll go to the joyfulness that you deserve, to brand on you a little bit.
Yeah, we all deserve, we deserve to feel that happiness and, like you said, that fulfillment from what we do every day. Like, not getting that can even make a dream job work type really not be that dream job if you're really not getting that fulfillment and feeling that joy from your work, or that you're adding value to the world through what you do.
That's why I love what you do. That's why I love how you focus on employee development, whether it's individual or through collaborative team environment. Because I'm sure you work with leaders and managers as well, and you help them with some of their development, so that way when they're fulfilled and they're empowered by your work to say, wow, you're giving them the tools to help value their people, then it's a chain reaction. Then they're going to be joyful, and then they're going to have their people be joyful, and then they're going to find that fulfillment. For sure. And Julie, you're in such a really good space just for what you're doing. I mean, because it is, development is needed. It's always needed. Like, learning is always going to be there. And I think even just through our discussion here now, I've learned so much about you as a person. I've got a page and a half of notes on you. I've been writing, looking down right over here. I'm like, I have, but I write on people I meet. And, I truly, just as your guest, I've taken so much away from you and even people in the audience. Yeah, it's been great. It's been really good.
Good. I love that.
But I've got to sing now, so I got to do something.
Yes.
Everybody's like, yes.
Sing for us.
I know. Okay. So, goodness me. Okay. Well, I could pull what I did off of Russ's live from yesterday. I'm going to take the mic off, because if I'm going to give you the operatic side of what I can do, I'm going to have to move this away a little bit, or else I'm going to blow everybody's ears away. I want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. What are we going to do here? From LinkedIn Live. No pressure. I always get
no pressure.
Believe it or not. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I would say, the key takeaway that I could give folks here, I would just say, or I would just sing to, just always keep going and never give up. Always keep going and never give up. Always keep going and never give up.
That's
always keep
awesome.
Going and never give up. That's what I would say.
I love it.
That's
I love it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you, Lisa.
It's so good. So good. That actually, so what you were saying, it actually reminded me of a quote that actually, I'm trying to remember, it was on Chris's live from last week about is a quote that really stuck with him as he was going through some challenges in life. But I think it was a quote by Robert Frost, like, life, it goes on. And I think that's kind of what you said, keep going and never give up, because, life's going to keep on marching. The time is going to pass anyway. So we might as well work toward the things that we want to get and that we want to achieve. Even when it's hard, like you said, we got to keep going and never give up.
Well, and find people who, what helps me out is finding people who know my potential, because I've got a really, this community here, they know the potential that I can bring. They know the difference that I can make. And so in the moments where I have that doubt, I always come back here, and I always surround myself with people who can lift me up when I have challenges, because we all do. It's not all positive in our lives every day. We're going to have days that aren't going to be great.
Right.
But surrounding ourselves with people who know our potential and who know what impact we've made is incredibly important.
Absolutely.
And a quote that I like saying, this was one that I said earlier, I'll probably do a repost on it, but one that I came up with was, change your choices if the choices you have made aren't changing you. That's like one of the things that I like to say. Change your choices if the choices you have made aren't changing you. Because it's all about growth. It's all about development. It's all about getting yourself to that next step in life. And I think it's important too, like, I say next step, and that step doesn't necessarily have to be a big step. It can be a very small step. But as long as you're making a step in progressing, you're doing it. You're making it happen. Making it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Bethany.
Thrive in the environment, and they pick you up, bring you out the best. Yeah, completely. It's okay to not. Absolutely, yes. It's a real transparent noise.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not perfect. We're human. We're human beings.
We are human. Yeah, and everybody has things that they're dealing with, and it's okay. And it's okay. And that reminds me of something. Amanda Knight posted. Are you connected with Amanda Knight? Yeah, she posted it today, and I had posted something very similar several months ago. But like we all have hard things in our life, and it's it's not a comparison. And so even if like you have something hard and somebody else has something hard, like it doesn't matter. Like you can share your hard things without being like, oh, well, they've got it worse than I do. Like they don't want to hear about my problems. Like in my opinion, like, no, just share, get it off your chest. Like we all, yes, Bethany, we all have our struggles, and knowing that other people are struggling too, but they're still continuing to show up every day and to put content out there or to just be present. Like I know that helps me to know that others are struggling and they can keep going. So by all means, share if you need, like share.
Yeah, just got me chills. Yeah, you got me the fulfillment chills, but it's true though.
The fulfillment chills. Well, good. Well, good.
It's true.
Before we run out of time, I want to make sure, and sorry, there's a gnat flying around my face. I want to plug my show next week. Like I said, before I froze, I'm only streaming through June. And then I will probably do some like pop-ups during the day. But as far as like evenings with the kids' activities and stuff, I just can't commit to that right now. But next week on June 14th, which also happens to be my birthday,
yay,
I have Ms. Anna Rutherford coming on live. No, stay off the internet.
Why does watch your iPad?
Stop. She was supposed to be on a couple weeks ago and then had, I don't know, I think like a plumbing emergency or something. And I was like, oh, by all means, go take care of that. We can reschedule. So Anna Rutherford, you would love her. If you're not connected with her yet, please do. She is another beacon of positivity in the world, and connects with women to help them find their voice, and share their story and things like that. But she will be on live with me next week, June 14th at 7 p.m. Central. So mark your calendars for that. So yes, Genevieve says exactly. Comparison is the thief of joy. We're all different places in our paths. Let's support and uplift at every point in our journeys. Absolutely, 100%. Like comparison is the thief of joy. Like I've said that a lot. Thank you for the birthday wish. I appreciate that.
Happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday, dear Julie. Happy early birthday to you. There you go.
I love it. That's incredible. Oh, it's so good. So good.
If I don't sing happy birthday on the 14th, there you go.
Okay. I will like cut that and I will post it on that day just in case. So, it's been so good. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or plug, or what type of people you're going to be looking for when you bring your lives back?
Yeah, I mean, I've got I keep delaying bringing it back. I need to bring it back sooner rather than later.
Just rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it.
Tomorrow, I know. Yeah, tomorrow. I've got
pop up and do it.
I know, I do. I'll probably announce it tomorrow then. Okay, I'll do that. I've got some folks coming in. Yeah, I mean, I think really, for me, I really like to kind of focus my lives around the job seeker, obviously, and like getting folks in who can really help them along their path. So like I've done series before in terms of like interviewing. I've done resume series with other career coaches where we'll work on resume review with a couple of resumes and things like that. I'm bringing on one of my close recruiter friends. We're going to be doing some LinkedIn, I think some LinkedIn collaborations and stuff like that, kind of in the eyes of a recruiter. So just little things like that we're going to be doing. But same thing, I love doing these lives on both sides, being a guest and host as well. So I think just kind of getting there and just getting back into the groove of it. And it's probably it may transform a little bit, but just kind of trying it out again to see what happens. So
yeah. That's the glory of it. Like things can transform and change, and whatever you need it to do, like that's what you do. It's one of the things like my business coach that I work with, his like I don't know if it's a motto or slogan or whatever, but is to build a business that serves you so you're not a slave to your business.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's great for a lot of areas in our life. If it's not serving you, then why are you doing it?
I'm writing that down.
You should connect with him too if you're not. His name is Mark Severkrop, and he's amazing. And Mark, when you watch the replay, you need to connect with Phil because he's amazing.
I appreciate that. Got it.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. Anything else?
It's been just such a joy.
Good.
It's been such a joy to be here to just end my evening just on a high note.
On a high note.
I know you like that.
There.
I know you do. And just everybody here listening to just either live or on the replay. I mean, we just really appreciate you. And I'm just, again, I'm blessed, I'm fulfilled, and I'm just appreciative of each and every one of you just tuning in here just this evening and on the replay, and even just advocating for what I do and my vision and purpose, and same with Julie's. I mean, it's just, I appreciate it. I mean, that's it. I really do appreciate you, friend, and all the LinkedIn friends here who have just been so supportive along my path. So that's all.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, y'all connect with Phil, connect with me. Stay tuned for next week on Joyful Julie Live. Hang tight backstage, Phil, and we are going to wrap this up. We will see you guys all next week. Take care.